should be. Can't you see? Were they the ones who made the rules? Who to see? What to do? You gotta watch your step where they've laid traps for you. When they're through, you remember I said you've gotta get away. What's he gonna do? Now it's up to you. You've gotta get away. One more time in your mind. Testing the road. I know it's been a crooked path. Never flowed to where you're bound to someday go. And you know this by now. The better days ahead, as long as you will allow. And somehow, when these words fill your head, you've gotta get away. What's he gonna do? Now it's up to you. You've gotta get away. One more time in your mind.
Everybody plugged in? Let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm always plugged in.
Da-da-da-da-da. Where I am. There we go. Welcome to blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah.
Blue.
Blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah,
The
blah.
show where we talk about
Nothing! Absolutely.
almost nothing.
Nothing plus 3.
And it's just remarkable. We taped the show last week, and we came back this week, and lo and behold, we're wearing the same exact clothing.
I only
Yes.
have
Did you
one.
wash that shirt, Chris?
Whew. Mama,
I only have one shirt.
I smell great.
Because I know you're all religious watchers of the show back at home. And the first thing you're going to notice is that our clothes is the same. At any rate, I do want to introduce the cast of Blah, Blah, Blah. My name is Jorge Bernardo, and I am the host and the boss. On the left, Mr. Robert Isele.
Hey,
And then we have Jack Albert.
how you doing?
And rounding out the Chris Bartos cast.
Ow.
Something like that. Inverted words there. At any rate, for the sake of time, we will continue. And today, we are very excited to bring you a special show. This is one we're calling our New Technology episode. The New Technology episode is going to have the following topics. Number 1, embrace or disgrace, combing over some of the new technologies and examining our propensity for incorporating or ignoring them, whatever the case may be. We're also going to talk about remember when, looking back on some of the joys and foils of technology from yesteryear. And we're going to have a performance by Chris and myself doing a Beatles song called I'm Only Sleeping. And we're going to have a special visit, once again, from our old friends Sully and Fred. Observations with Sully and Fred.
All right.
Finally, the last part of today's show will be assessing your new technology quotient, or as I like to call it, your NTQ. All right. Well, let's get started now with the first topic, which is embrace and disgrace. Let's kick around some of the new technologies that we may have been embracing the past, 10 years, starting with something like, it's sort of passé now in a way, but MySpace. Rob, you got a MySpace page?
I do have a MySpace page, but I'm not sure what it says about me. But I think I know. I think it says I'm now married, which is important because it's true. And what else is never. That's the only thing my wife
And you
cares
had the
about.
baby.
And I need to update it for that.
Yeah.
There you
So
go.
you didn't want to have kids, is that what it was?
Now am I out of touch if I don't update it more than 7 months?
Yes.
That's kind of slow, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I thought.
I don't know. Do you? And but who
I have-
Facebooks? Who do you Facebook
I
here?
have Facebook. I have MySpace. I have Match and Yahoo
Wow.
and
You get the full Monty.
17 other
He's
ones.
revealing his ignorance by lumping them all together as if they're the same thing.
Yes.
They're all different.
Yes.
I've got those too.
It's because I need
Yeah.
friends. I have no friends.
Now, I think this is a loaded question. Not a loaded, but I think I know the answer. It's rhetorical.
I have to go to the bathroom.
What do you guys know about Twitter?
Twitter. I don't know.
Isn't that where you go and buy stereos and TVs? Or that's Tweeter.
That's Tweeter.
No.
Yeah.
No, we are all a
I
bit
was called-
ashamed here to admit that
I was
we
called a
know
twit when I was
Twitter.
a kid.
Twitter exists. We just don't know what it is about.
Actually,
Okay?
George knew it existed. I didn't.
You brought it
You
up.
hadn't heard of it.
No, I had not heard
I had
of it.
not heard
I
of it.
just heard
Twitter's
of it.
pretty big now, right? Twitter?
I know.
Laura's nodding her head. She doesn't even know what Facebook is. That's great. Just like, yeah. Okay.
The funniest thing Barbara Walters ever said when she was talking about this stuff, she goes, you know that stuff they have, that site they have now, MyFace?
My face. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
pretty
Some of
good.
those guys don't even have computers. What's his name? McCain, right? Doesn't he use a
Doesn't use
computer?
a computer.
That's because he can't lift his.
Right.
I'm not making fun of him. That's the thing. That's what he says, right? Because he can't lift his arms or something.
Yeah, because he's old as dirt.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
he's our new president. Man,
This was,
recount.
this was
This
taped
is the
earlier.
What If
All right.
episode, yeah.
Okay, some other there's different parts of technology. There's of course communication, or well, communication is lumped into what we do on computers, but also our phones. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, anybody here have an iPhone?
What's that?
Come on.
No, I know. I know.
You
What
can
I
see
don't
it?
have one.
My brother Louis, the first day they came out, he had it,
Wow.
and they're amazing. Now, Rob, the last time I saw your cell phone, it looked like it weighed about 6 pounds, and you know. maybe fit in the
No,
console
it
living
doesn't
room.
weigh a whole lot. It still weighs. It weighs about 3 or 4 pounds, which is probably pretty heavy. But I use it for like a arm lift. But also, it doesn't really do a whole lot. It doesn't take pictures. It barely makes calls. And
No, I'd like to reveal something else about Rob's cell phone. It's rarely on. Okay,
that's true.
it's rarely on. Now that's
I'm saving my minutes.
oh, yeah.
It's $25 a year. It's a great plan.
No, Rob and I play in a band together, and sometimes we're flying to different cities. It's like, got to make sure it's on when we're in the airport, dude. We're looking for you, Rob. The plane's taking off.
I told you, look at the food place. I'll be
It
there.
goes right into voicemail. Okay, we got phones, we got computers, and we got televisions. Now, Jack, I'm proud to say, was the first on the Blah 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 cast. We're going to go a little bit over on this to get a high definition television.
That's right.
And how do you feel about that?
I feel very good about myself.
Yeah. And how long
He
ago
always
did
does.
you purchase that?
It would be a little over 4 years ago.
Right. Now, we got ours. I have this, not idiot roommate, but this funny roommate who
No, he's
bought a
an
high definition television but didn't want to get the high definition signal. I don't know what we got to pay for. It's extra. I don't think it's going to be that different. Why'd you buy the television then? Anyway, last year, Chris, you had a Super Bowl party, and you had the nerve of inviting us all over to your house with a non-HD TV.
Tough crap.
And you're having another party, right?
Yeah, I
Do
am
you
having
expect us
another.
to come over again?
Yes, but Circuit City's going out of business, and yesterday I bought a 40-inch screen HD TV, plasma. Got it on sale, big time sale.
Did you buy it with cash?
Well, I'll find that out later.
That's personal.
He didn't tell you, but it's blood plasma.
The picture's a little red, but
It's a little red.
No, but I got a new TV, and yes, I'm having a party, Super Bowl party, February 1st. All of you are invited, but I'm sure none of you will come, just like you did to my New Year's party. But thanks.
Okay.
I know. Laura came. I know.
Hey, all right, we did. Let's talk about music now in terms of technology. Now, what does every person under the age of 30 have in their possession?
CDs, iPods.
iPods. Right.
Who here owns an iPod? You own one? Nope.
Nope.
I'm not under 30.
So do you carry a little CD player with you, a little portable, when you're jogging? Get that little.
You know, I am so old that I think that I don't need to have music in my ears every waking moment of the
La
day.
la 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 la.
Unless it's from Chris.
Well, I bought an iPod about 6 months ago, but I had problems with my computer. I couldn't upload it. I just now got around to loading some songs on my iPod. So I'm a proud new member of the family. Thank you very much. And I also just got into Facebook too. I started using it. I actually put this taping of the show as an event for my Facebook friends. But there was a time. I mean, are you on Facebook? No.
He said,
Well, I'll change the question.
he doesn't know what it is.
Describe Facebook.
Remember
to us.
my MySpace? What is it?
Yeah.
It's. I think it's an update of MySpace.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Sort of, but
Okay.
how is it better or different?
It shows more of the face. Because that's why they call it Facebook. You know, I don't know.
Well, how is it different, Chris?
That's my guess, but I might be wrong.
Well, you can still date people off of it. I know that.
Oh,
Has anything to do
important.
with match. You can date people.
You know what I
off of
find really distracting about Facebook? On the right column, they have all the dating service.
I
come
know,
on.
and they're all
and they have
hot
these
chicks.
pics. My eye keeps going over there.
Yeah.
And it's like, do I know these people? Oh, it's an ad. Do I know these people? Oh, it's an ad.
Yeah.
It's like,
She's winking at me? Oh, no, she's not.
All right. What, is there anything I've overlooked in terms of new technologies that we have either gotten into or maybe not have? Anybody have a GPS in their car?
No.
No.
Yeah, they are amazing.
They're
gonna,
amazing.
They're going to make maps a thing of the past in a matter of months or years.
I do have satellite. Satellite
Radio.
radio. Believe it or
Satellite
not.
radio.
Oh, that's pretty good for me.
Now, do you have DVR?
Here we go again.
That's on the TV.
We talked about this, and we had a big dispute about whether I had DVR or whether I don't. And George thinks that I actually do have DVR because it's a machine that has a hard drive and it tapes for the future. And so he said that's basically DVR.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say I have that. I have nothing. I have satellite DVR
So where
and
do you-
nothing else.
Where do you find yourself on the technology scale?
Yeah.
10 being the
Well,
most.
we're going to get to that. 'Cause
Okay.
That's the
next?
last segment. That's the last segment.
Was
Okay, cool.
Yeah. But
I'll
you don't
keep
have
that in mind.
DVR, right? So you don't know the joys of DVR.
What's DVR?
It will.
digital video
It's like TiVo.
recording.
No, I don't have that. No, I don't. I just got the HDT.
You will
TV.
change your life. Trust me.
Yeah.
It changes
Yeah,
your
I'll
life.
never go out of the house like I go out every day.
Nothing like watching replays of golf. Laura knows this. I like to watch golf replays. I don't know who wins. And just before they hit the putt, I hit the play button again, which makes it go in slow motion. So I watch the final putt to win the tournament in super slow motion. And I'm like, it's going to go in. No, it's not. Yeah, it is. Yeah,
Can you do
and
that
that's the
with
first
porno?
time I see it. It's like it elevates
And
sports to a new.
I can't even see the ball.
And I do the same thing on field goals. Like, I haven't watched the game. Or even during the game, Chris, you can press the button
You pause live TV.
and you hit play again, and all of a sudden, the kick comes in slow motion. And you're like, oh, it's going to be good. It's just,
But does my three sons look better?
yes.
Okay, good. Then I'll get one.
All right. We could talk about this till we were blue in the face. This is good stuff. But when we come back, we're going to take a break now. When we come back, we're going to talk about remember when, before these technologies took foothold, and back in the day when you youngsters out there don't remember things about televisions, about stereos,
Young whippersnappers.
and about telephones. We'll be right back with Remember When.
Remember when what?
Yeah, but did you see how much he had to drink last night? I can't believe that guy made it home. Nobody drives drunk anymore. Hold on, I got another call coming in.
While drunk driving rates have dropped greatly, negligent driving and speeding fatalities have skyrocketed. Someone dies every 13 minutes from negligent driving, so keep your hands on the wheel, your eyes on the road, and your phone put away.
All right, welcome back to Blah, Blah, Blah. Thank you, studio audience. We're continuing with our new technology episode, and our next topic is Remember When.
Ah, yes.
Back in the days before iPhones, iPods, Twitter, and
Twitter.
GPS, we had different times. Now, you know, speaking of smartphones and iPhones and cell phones, the evolution going backwards now, they're getting tinier and tinier. And remember, before we had cell phones, we had car phones, and they were about the size of regular home phones. And then if you see some movies from like the early
80s.
90s or late
80s,
90s, you
yeah.
see the
Like
funny looking.
big World War II
Yeah.
walkie-talkie
It's
size
always,
phones.
it's always.
yeah.
Do you remember your first cell phone?
I still have my old cell phone. I actually carry it with me. And hello. So yeah, this is an example of my old cell phone.
You can put it right here. That's a nice prop. That was not a setup, by the way. That was totally impromptu. But my favorite thing to talk about in terms of remembering when, for you youngsters out there that don't remember television before remote controls, right, was in my house, it was always my dad trying to get the picture perfect. And back then, you had to mess with the knob, and you had to twist it, and sometimes the handle would literally, if you twisted it some, it would be a better picture, but then you had to hold it there. So you get a piece of tape out, and you literally tape, but it never worked because you couldn't get the exact amount of pressure to get that picture.
Right.
Right.
What were some of the other things you had to do with television to make it?
Well, you had to go up to the rabbit ears and adjust them, and then while you're adjusting it, you're touching it, and you become part of the antenna. Okay, so the picture's good until you let go.
Right.
So one poor slob had to be the guy who stood up by the TV holding it while everyone else watched the show, and you're like, I can't see it from here.
Right, right. Did that ever happen to you, Chris?
Oh, constantly. My dad. I would like to go up to the TV and then turn the channels like 100 miles an hour. And then my dad would, what the hell are you doing? And then he would actually make us hold the antenna and stand like this. Of course, that being short is nothing. Never got any good reception. But he would always
Tell us
yell at
about the time that you twisted the channel thing and something happened. Did it come off or something like that?
Oh, with the pliers?
Well, no, before that, you twisted it and it turned around and said, oops, Dad. So
Oh, yeah. I was twisting it really fast, 100 miles an hour, and oh, shoot, it broke. Sorry, Dad, how do we do this? We plug it back in? And
Yeah.
But, Rob, what do you have to do when that thing, the channel changer comes off? What do you have to do to change channels?
Oh, you mean get the various devices out to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. But you want to make sure that, well, just to be careful, make sure it has rubber. Can you get electrocuted doing that?
Maybe.
Probably.
Never happened to me.
Well, anyway, maybe I was just, conductive. But it was a pain. This was a day that we don't want to go back to.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about using pliers.
Yeah.
Yeah, pliers.
You literally had to take the pliers, remember this, and stick them in there and click, click, click. That's
Yeah.
when you knew it was time to get a new TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
they
it
didn't-
would still take months. The pliers would be sitting on the TV
and
for
then I would
months.
turn the plier real fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that piece that was inside with the pliers was usually made out of plastic. So after a couple of applications, it started getting stripped. So that's when you had to get the new TV.
Yeah.
And then my dad shoving his foot through the.
Elvis.
I remember I was babysitting for a family. They had a TV with a remote. But you know how people used to call remotes clickers? I found out why. The TV actually had a thing. It responded to sound. And the clicker would make a clicking noise. And the channel changer in the TV would go ka-chunk. And every time you hit it, it would go ka-chunk, ka-chunk.
Yep.
And that was a clicker.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I don't remember that either.
Yeah, it's not like you could choose the channel you wanted to go to. You had to go through each channel to get to the one that you wanted.
Thank
But there were
God.
only 9 channels, so it didn't matter.
Real quick on
I had 4 in my house.
before CDs we had,
Vinyl LPs.
Final.
and between those we had
Cassettes.
Cassettes.
Yeah.
And then before that we had
The vinyl
the
LP.
vinyl LPs. And what were some of the things that made that were different from using CDs?
Well, you couldn't just jump to wherever you wanted to, and you had to kind of wait for a song to play out, or you could take the but you're going to mess
Take
up
the
the record
needle.
if you did it. Yeah, take the needle and skip
What
it.
happens if you take the needle and try to move to a different song? You might
Scratch.
scratch.
it. Yeah. I didn't allow that. Once the record was started, all bets were off. It was like kind of a NASA type operation. We're going to the moon. We're going to listen to the darn record, whether you like it or not.
See, that's
Front to
that's-
back.
It
Yeah.
changes the way we listen to music because we would listen to a whole side.
Yeah.
I was a chronic needle bumper.
Oh.
I would always try to change the needle, and I'd always, and you had that little thing that would hook around one of the vinyls that would hold it up, and then the record would stop, and then you could program it would come back down.
The next record would drop.
Yeah,
right?
well, mine would always like fall to the side, and then the needles would scratch and skip, and I went through a lot of records when I was growing up.
Now, Jack, if somebody had messed with your record and made a scratch in it, and it would repeat the same 5 seconds or 6 seconds or whatever it was in
Yeah.
the song, what could you do to fix it? The answer is
Nothing.
absolutely
You
nothing.
could put a penny
A
on
friend
top.
of mine, I wanted to have a bunch of Beatles songs, and of course, buying the record was not an option. So I just taped his record and his White Album had a skip in I Will. And for a while, I thought the song went, never, forever, never, forever, never, forever.
You thought that's the way it
Yeah,
went.
I thought this song sucks.
Yeah, tell Paul McCartney that.
Okay, what did we left at? We talked about records. We talked about TVs.
The telephone.
The telephone.
Old telephone. Corded
Yeah.
telephones.
Corded telephones.
Yeah.
What were the problems? Oh, they'd always get
You'd always
bundled
knock
up.
stuff over. Or
Bundle stuff.
you couldn't go too far. And you'd have the phone, and you couldn't walk too far because that cord
Yeah.
would be very limited to where you could go.
Also, long distance calls. You had to really. Every call cost money.
Yeah.
You didn't have a certain amount of minutes for your cell phone that you could use up to.
Yeah.
Every time you made every time you talked to grandma, you had an excuse to get off the phone if you needed it.
My grandma was dead, so it didn't matter.
You can't get a better excuse than that.
Yeah. Sorry you didn't call her.
All right, we are. We're running out of time in this segment, but we're going to do a couple things and come back with the last part of this show, which is going to be assessing your technology quotient. Before that, we are going to have first another somewhat funny article written by Jorge that you will not be reading in The Onion, as followed by a performance by Chris and myself doing a Beatles song.
Groovy.
I'm Only Sleeping. And then
I have
we
been through the
are
whole
going to see Chris and myself again on the next
Fred and
segment
Sully.
of Observations with Sully and Fred. You'll get it when you see it.
We don't get it.
And then we'll be back. So stay tuned.
We'll be back in 2 and 2.
What do you want from the all-powerful Oz?
A brain. People wonder how I got to be the all-knowing Wizard of Oz. I go to USA.gov, the official source for government info.
Pick up the student loan form to your right. Next!
I want to go back to Kansas.
Oh, that's a toughie. Back to USA.gov, passport applications.
For federal and state government information, there's no place like USA.gov.
When I wake up early in the morning, lift my head, I'm still yawning when I'm in the middle of a dream. Stay in bed, float upstream, float upstream. Please don't wake me, no, don't shake me, leave me where I am. I'm only sleeping. Everybody seems to think I'm lazy. I don't mind. I think they're crazy, running everywhere at such a speed, till they find there's no me, there's no me. Please don't spoil my day. I'm miles away, and after all, I'm only sleeping. Keeping an eye on the world going by my window, taking my time, lying there staring at the ceiling, waiting for a sleepy feeling. Please don't wake me, no, don't shake me, leave me where I am. I'm only sleeping. Keeping an eye on the world going by my window, taking my time when I wake up early in the morning, lift my head, I'm still yawning when I'm in the middle of a dream. Stay in bed, I float upstream, float upstream. Please don't wake me, no, don't shake me, leave me where I am. I'm only sleeping.
One mistake, just one. Hi, welcome to another Observations with Sully and Fred. I'm Sully.
I'm Fred.
Hey, Fred, did you ever notice that at never snows in the summer.
Yeah, oh. Did you ever notice that some buildings are taller than others?
Oh my gosh, you're right. Well, did you ever notice that paper doesn't weigh very much? Unless you have a lot of it.
Yeah, well,
Then it weighs
yeah.
a lot.
Did you ever notice that lots of stores are closed on Sundays?
Wow. I thought it was just me. Well, did you ever notice that a remote control has buttons on it?
No. What? Yeah, yeah.
There you go.
Did you ever notice that your hair grows longer and not shorter?
That explains why I have to get my hair cut every few weeks. Thank you. Well, did you ever notice that after you take a shower, the bathroom rug feels wet?
No. Ew. Did you ever notice that when you're drinking a cup of coffee, it gets cold after a while?
Not till now. And that's all for Observations with Sully and Fred. Remember, I'm Sully.
I'm Fred.
And we'll see you next time. Wait, Fred. I'm going to say on a scale of 1 to 10,
Yes.
a 10 being you're a regular Twitter user, you have an iPhone, you have an iPod Gigamillion, or whatever the largest one is,
8 gigabytes, right?
and I'm not even sure what else to ask.
What's a gigabyte?
On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate yourself with the NTQ, and how would you defend that?
I'm going to give myself a 3, and I hope I'm not being too optimistic when I say that. But I don't know that I really have to defend it because it's a low number to begin with. But I don't think it should be higher. And I do know how to use Facebook or whatever. I mean, I don't know how to use it, but
It's called a computer.
I've heard of it. Yeah, it's a computer. I've heard of it. You know, they can just delete whatever. So I'm kind of hip a little bit.
Okay.
So I'm going to give myself a 3.
3, okay.
Yeah.
What do you say, Jack?
I'll give myself a 7.
7? So what are some of the things that would make you a 7?
Well, I got my high definition TV fairly early.
Yep.
I edit videos on a computer.
That's good.
Yeah, and I have a digital audio workstation.
Yep.
So
You're crazy. I'd give you like a 9 or a 10. Because I give myself a 7.
well, you may have to reassess.
You went. You are more technologically in tune than I am. Because
Yeah.
I just got the HD TV.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
And you didn't know what DVR was either.
No, and I didn't know that I had to actually get the service to make the HD TV what it is.
Okay.
So I'm actually figuring this shit out as I'm buying the damn thing.
Yeah.
So
You know, I'm realizing there are 2 ways to
Maybe I should give
calculate the NTQ.
Yeah.
The one is that complicated equation, and the other is a simple one. It's you measure the amount of shame you feel when you see something that you know you should know, but you do not.
Rob,
Like when you hear conversations about Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter.
So I would say based on that, I'm about a 6. 6.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
well, you know about it, but you don't have some of this
What's the
stuff.
thing? I guess
I don't know about some of these things, and I
these
don't
things
have
aren't
them.
going away. We gotta embrace it, man.
Yeah.
What if I know what Twitter is, but I don't want to twit?
Well, that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
But you know,
Because I choose not to. I know what an iPod is, but
twit
maybe I
or
don't
not
want
to
one.
twit?
George,
called being
some
a half
people have
twit.
said, "Why do I need a phone? I can write letters." you
If
know?
I want to hear, but if I want to hear WBC's Afternoon of a Fawn, it's right up here. I have every piece of music memorized, so I don't really need to.
Rob, your problem is you want to hear WC.
Oh, that might be an issue. I'm going to a doctor for that. too.
In the case of being old
being a
dogs,
twit?
is there also sort of a resistance? Like, darn it, I don't have to learn this. Why should I be forced to get an iPod? Because I felt like I was. But I did have this
Pressured.
bulky CD player. I still wanted to hear music I wanted to hear. I just
A disc
couldn't,
man.
couldn't be
Yeah.
bothered to figure out how to use iTunes.
Yeah.
That's my confession.
Yikes.
So, what was your number again? Oh, he was a
Well,
7.
I'm bumped down to a 4 now.
Yeah, you're
because
sub.
you're a 6.
You are definitely sub 5.
Shit.
Yeah, but you're Iron Man.
I want to thank you all for watching Blah, Blah, Blah. We're just about out of time. And hopefully next time we see you, we will be in different clothing. I want to thank the studio audience for coming out today. And we will see you next time on Blah, Blah, Blah. Yeah.
We gotta get away. We gotta get away.